All right, everybody, welcome back to the Find a New Way to Live Challenge. Today we're on Lesson 5, Influences. All right, so when I talk about influences, I want you to be able to immediately think about the 5 people that you spend the most time with on a daily basis. Write those folks out, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, because that right there is going to determine your future, it's going to determine your present, and it's going to determine how you move forward in life. We are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. Now, I know when you hear that, you might think, well, I've got 5 good friends. My friends are, they're encouraging me, they're helping me grow. But you really have to evaluate your influences and ask, are they really helping you grow? Are they helping you move forward? Or are they encouraging you to stay at the current situation you're at in life? Or are these 5 people holding you back to a previous life? If you're trying to grow and you're trying to find a new way to live and you're trying to achieve success in your life, it's likely that your influences are going to change over time. So if you're somebody who wants to grow and wants to achieve goals, but at the same time, you're spending time around people who don't have goals, who don't have dreams, who aren't working towards anything in their lives, if we don't acknowledge the type of influences that we have in our lives, it's very possible that the folks that we spend the most time around, will be the reason that we don't achieve what we're trying to accomplish. So I want to break a couple different things down for you today. And the first one is something I call the law of 33%. Now, when I heard this, I thought, well, that makes pretty good sense, but I wasn't really able to apply it in my life at the time. So let's look at our influences like this. Let's imagine that if we broke all of our friendships, all of our associations, all of our influences down into thirds. Imagine that 1/3 of the people that we spend our time with are people who are below us. Not people who are worth less than us, but people who are below us. Maybe folks that we have the ability to help out, maybe folks that we have the ability to teach something to, or maybe it's the people who want to do the things we have done in the past. These may be our children, these may be our nieces and nephews, these may be our younger friends, these may be people who are older than us. Age or family or friendship or anything like that doesn't really have much factor into this 33% of folks right here. The point is that we must be able to acknowledge that these folks are at a lower level than we are. Not meaning that they're less off than we are, but that they're just at a lower level. So imagine that we have the next 33% of people who are on our level, which means that these people have similar goals as us. These people are at a current situation in life that is very similar to we are. Maybe these folks are folks who have struggled with an addiction as well, and maybe they're early in their recovery journey right now. Or maybe these folks who have been in and out of jail most of their lives, and they may find themselves in jail right now, or they may be out. These folks need to be somebody who are on the current level as we are. People that are able to not compare ourselves to, but be people who we are able to gauge as to see, okay, over the last 6 months, have I been able to move forward in life, or am I still at the same place I was 6 months ago? And then the next 33%, the last third, needs to be people who are 5, 10, 20 years ahead of where we hope to be in life. So if our goals are to get a college education, to have a good paying job, to be a good father, to be a person in recovery who has been successful in recovery, these people need to be somebody who have accomplished what it is we are trying to do. Now, I know for me, like I said, I struggled with this in the beginning because I had a lot of people who were on my level, a lot of people who had the same goals, had the same vision, had the same drive. So that was a good time for me right there to be able to spend time around like-minded people who were trying to move forward in life, who wanted to achieve their goals and wanted to create a level of success in their life that they had not been involved in before. But at the same time, I had a lot of people who were trying to learn from me, a lot of people who I was trying to help, and a lot of people who I wanted to see grow, and I spent a lot of time with those folks. I invested time with them. I still do invest a lot of time with them. But what happened was it prevented me from growing because I wasn't reaching out to the folks in my life that were able and willing to continue to help me grow. Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong with helping anybody out, but if we spend our whole life helping others, what may happen is we may never not take the time and the initiative to get ourselves from where we currently are to where we want to be. So like I said, my initial struggle with this was that I had a lot of people who was on my level and a lot of people I was helping, but in the last third, the 33% who were 5 or 10 years ahead of me that could mentor me, that could coach me, that could help me achieve the goals that I had for myself, I wasn't investing enough time or attention or energy into building those relationships and learning from those folks. So I've seen a lot of people who reach a certain phase in their recovery or reach a certain phase in their life where they're just satisfied, not to say that they're complacent or not to say that they're not trying anymore, but they reach a place in life where they stop growing and they stop setting new goals and they stop trying to achieve. And what happens is they end up reverting back to their old ways and reverting back to their old people and not living up to the full potential that they have inside of them. The whole point of finding a new way to live and becoming successful in our life is to be able to grow and to be able to achieve all the potential that we have in us. Like I've said before, this isn't a one-time process that we just achieve the goals we have right now. This is a new way of life. This is a new way of thinking. So as we continue to grow personally, our influences are going to have to change as well. So I know that people in our life are doing one of 3 different things for us. People in our life are either pulling us back to where we were before, not encouraging us to grow. Maybe they don't want us to grow. And it's surprising as to who these people are sometimes. Maybe it's close friends or family members who have been comfortable with us in their life and they want to keep us around because they love us and care about us. But at the same time, if we can't allow some relationships to end, then we're never able to begin and nurture and invest time into the new relationships that are going to help us grow. So I know this idea and this lesson of influences is one that takes time to be able to understand, because when we first initially hear about this, the people that come to mind are the ones that are closest to us. Maybe it's our grandparents who have been a big part of raising us. Maybe it's some teachers or some coaches or a lot of people, maybe it's older brothers or older family members who have been kind of like our guiding light, we have followed our whole life. But as we continue to evaluate who we are and the direction we want to go down in life, we need to be able to acknowledge, is this person in my life pulling me back to who I was before? Are they keeping me stuck as the current person I am right now? Or are they encouraging me? Are they helping inspire me to grow into the person that I want to be? Obviously, if our goal is to live clean, stay drug and alcohol free, to stay out of jail, to continue to be a law-abiding citizen, if our influences are criminals, drug dealers, people who are using drugs, the chance of us staying clean and moving forward and finding a new way to live is very slim. Like I said in the beginning, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So really take some time to dive in and think about who these people are that we spend the most time with. And I want you to figure out the average financially, housing-wise, employment, future, what is the average of these people that I spend the most time with? And once you're able to identify the average of it, you'll realize that it's you. You are the average of the people that you spend the most time with. And the only way to change who we are and the direction we're heading in life is to be able to evaluate our associations very closely and be able to acknowledge, why is this person in my life? What role are they playing in my life? Are they encouraging me? Are they helping me grow? Or are they keeping me stuck? And we need to be able to, the only way we're able to allow things to happen in life is if we create the space for the thing to happen. So if we want to grow and be able to get an education, or we want to get a better job, or we want to stay clean, or we want to be a better father, we have to get rid of all the negative influences in our life. And I know that's hard to do, because this is what I'm asking you to do, is to change the way you've been thinking for probably most of your life, which is very challenging. A lot of people hear this and they think, well, that sounds really good, but when I actually apply this to my life, a lot of things change. A lot of my friendships change. A lot of what I do for fun changes. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind the vision of ourselves that we're working towards. If the vision of ourselves is to be a good father who's able to provide for his family and has an education and is living drug and alcohol free and isn't breaking the law, and if you want to go further than that, we have to surround ourselves with people who have done what we're trying to do. And we have to break ourselves of the people who have limited us, the people who have influenced us in a negative way. That way we can continue to grow into the person we want to be. So that's the lesson for today. I hope that helps out. I hope that you understand how important your influences are in your life. And if anything, just be able to acknowledge who your influences are. Who are you allowing to shape your thoughts and to form your belief systems? Because we need to be able to be very specific about what we're allowing into our life, because what comes in will come back out. If bad information comes in, bad things are going to come back out. If good information comes in, positive information, encouraging information, good, positive, and encouraging information is going to come back out. So I hope that helps. Talk to you next time.